Hey, so in today's video, I want to talk about the 2 sales funnels that I have used, and only 2, to generate literally millions of dollars online. I'm super excited to take you through. So firstly, if you're new to our channel, welcome here. My name is Penberthy. I help entrepreneurs and business owners get more customers online and do that profitably. If you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, there's a link in the description box and the top comment to a free training that I think you really dig. So what I wanted to talk about in today's video is the 2 types of sales funnels that I use in my company. And the reason why I want to do a video on this is because now we are not only a few years in, but we are we've done about $7 million in revenue as a company. And we've pretty much done that with only using 2 types of sales funnels, right? You probably heard about, there's a ton of stuff, right? You can do webinar funnels, bridge funnels, you can do book funnels, you can do free plus ship funnels, you can do tripwire funnels, you can do upsell funnels. There's so many things that you can be doing, and we can get a bit bogged down and a bit lost and a bit stuck in knowing which direction to go in, right? So first and foremost, before I show you what I'm doing, I do want to set some context. What you should do in your industry to sell your products is find out what your competitors are doing, right? Just your industry as a whole. What type of sales funnels are they used to opting in for? What type of funnels are your competitors using that you can start to model? Like, that's really important, because I'm gonna take you through 2 things that I use. I'm gonna draw them out here real quick, and gonna take you through what I'm doing, but you may find for your industry it's slightly different. All right, so just worth keeping that in mind. But for me, there's really 2 types of funnels I use. I use one called a bridge funnel and another funnel called a webinar funnel. Now, you're probably more familiar with a webinar funnel. So we're going to talk about that one first, and then I'm going to share with you the bridge funnel and why I use that and when I use it in the process, because I use it for testing, and I'll share that with you in a minute. So firstly, webinar funnel. Let's just quickly draw it out and then let's talk about it. So with the webinar funnel, you're going to have obviously your ad that goes to a registration page, then they're going to go to a confirmation page, then the actual webinar is going to happen, then after the webinar you're probably going to send out some replay, you're going to send out a replay so people can catch up, and then what I sometimes do is also send out a sales page, and then hopefully that's going to lead, then you're going to have a checkout page, I suppose, checkout page, and then it's going to hopefully generate some revenue. That started to incline, didn't it? So now I'm not going to draw out everything else. You're going to have emails and things that go out, potentially some remarketing ads, but this is a very simple webinar funnel, right? You get them to register. The reason why that's important is you want to be building your list, right? For me, that's the front door of everything that I'm doing. I want people to first come through and give me their name and email, so I have the ability to follow up via email. Then we're obviously confirming and all that good stuff. Then the webinar happens, and in a webinar funnel, this is where you're going to get the lion's share of your sales, right? The lion's share of the sales is going to come from here because it feels like a nice live environment. There's a chat role and everything's going on. So this is where people feel quite comfortable sitting on this training and ultimately getting to the end and kind of bypassing everything else and making a purchase, right? Then for the people that potentially missed it, you'll give them a replay, send them some emails about that, maybe send them some emails about the sales page, and some people will actually make a purchase from those pages as well, right? So a webinar funnel for me has proved, very, very profitable. And I think 2 of the reasons why it's done very well for me is, 1, the whole model is built on value, okay? It's not a sales funnel where you're rushing someone through a sales process and everything feels quite salesy, right? Everything feels like you've just got something to sell and you're trying to just get them there, right? It's all built on value. They're registering for, potentially an hour-long training, where the goal is that you actually do teach them something about your topic and about your industry before you get to the offer. So if this box represents your webinar presentation, then you're probably looking at that first part is how much content you want, and then the red part is actually how much time you spend on your offer, right? So the majority of the presentation is training, and then you go into the offer. Now, there's a very particular way that you need to craft and construct your webinars. I've got training on that on my YouTube channel. You can go in and check that out. I've got a bunch of videos on it. But that's the first thing. It's built on value. The second thing is you have a captive audience, right? We're in a busy time right now on social media where the attention span of someone scrolling their phone, it's like a second. And if you don't grab their attention, they're gone. The same thing with opting into sales funnels. They may opt into a funnel of yours, right? But if you don't grab their attention straight away off this, they're going to be gone. They're going to get distracted. Notifications are going to go off. So webinars work really well because you've got a captive audience. People have selected a day and a time that they are going to set aside to watch this presentation. All right, so you've got that captive attention, and that means that then your conversions are going to go up because you've got that person's undivided attention. So those are the two reasons why webinars work really well and why I've done very well with them. In fact, I've done millions of dollars with the webinar model. Here's where my bridge funnel comes in. Okay, bridge funnel is actually far simpler. What I'm doing is you've got your ad. I'm still, whoops, I put AA, ad. I'm still sending them to a place where they can opt in, so a capture page, much like a registration page, they're opting in. Then I take them to a training page. And from there, they're going to go on to the checkout page, right? Where hopefully they're going to buy something. So the process is much, much shorter, but the concept is actually the same as a webinar funnel because they're opting in, we're getting their email. All right, we're trying to provide them value and then lead them on to make a purchase. Over here, we're going to try and provide them value in a video and lead them on to the offer, right? So, and then we're going to have some follow-up and that kind of stuff. It's a much easier sales funnel to put together. And the reason why I use it is really for testing, because it would probably take, let's just use I'm completely pulling this number out of my head, but it's a rough idea. This is probably going to take you a third the amount of time as it would take you to create a webinar. To sell the same product with the same message, with the same type of thing, it's going to take about a third of the time to build a bridge funnel as it would do a webinar. There are a lot more moving parts and components to putting a webinar funnel together. A bridge funnel's a little bit simpler. Opt-in, video page, and then a chance to move forward. So on this page, it really is going to have a nice little video there, nice little headline, and then a button to move through to the next step. And this video would be probably more like 20 to 30 minutes than an hour to an hour and a half. So your deliverable on the video is going to be less, but it's the same type of content, right? So you're teaching the same stuff as a webinar, it's just more condensed, it's shorter, same type of hook that's getting them to opt in, right? So why would you do that then over this? It's because by the way, webinars convert better. So your webinar funnel, and it's just something worth keeping in mind, but although it takes more work and it takes longer, there's more effort that goes into it, it will convert better than a bridge funnel. It just will. So why would you want to use this? I use it for testing. What I want to do is I want to test the components. I want to see, did my ads work? Tick. Yes. Okay, great. So that's good. Now, capture page. Did the hook, did the headline on that page grab the person's attention, and did I get a good enough opt-in rate? No, I didn't. Okay, great. Then I haven't wasted time building a whole webinar funnel only for it to fall short here because the registration page didn't even convert, right? Or wouldn't have converted. So I can start to work on this and get a headline and get a capture page that actually converts. Presentation, did it get people to move through to this page? Well, if I had 100 people that landed on this page and literally 0 of them or one of them moved through to the next step to actually go check out my payment page, then this didn't do a very good job. Having 1% not just purchase, having 1% even just click the button to see what the next thing was all about. That wasn't very good. So without spending an hour and a half creating a whole webinar about it, I did a shorter video just to test that overall message and see if that was resonating with my audience. Right? So I'm testing these different components, and then once I know I've got enough people across here, then I'm seeing if the checkout page converted and whatnot. And once I've got a tick above all of these, I don't necessarily need to have made a sale. That's not the goal here. I don't necessarily need to have made a sale, that would be a bonus. I'm really just testing the messaging along the way. And once I've got the message that my audience is connecting to, then I'll beef it out and I'll build it into a webinar funnel, and that's the funnel that I will then scale, right? That's my model, that's what's worked for me, and hopefully you can take something away for that you can implement for yourself. All right, so hopefully that was helpful for you. If it was, do me a favor, hit the like button below, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if you have used a webinar funnel or a bridge funnel. I'd love to hear about that in the comments. If you'd like to learn more about how I can teach you this stuff in greater detail, I actually have a webinar training that I think you'll really like, and it goes into a ton of detail on how I plan my ads, how I build my funnel, and how I've sold millions of dollars worth of products. It's a great training, and then I also make an offer at the end of that to how you can get further help from me, which I think you might want to hear about. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and do that. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and be notified of future videos that I'm uploading here onto the channel. And with that, I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you in a future video.